Without any further ado, we are now going to start our show with Steve Rashid and the Quid Pro Quartet. And enter.
We placed bets on whether or not Bea was going to be able to pronounce Quid Pro Quartet. I lost.
How much did I make?
Not enough. There's a bright golden haze in the meadow, bright golden haze in the meadow. Corn is as high as an elephant's eye. Looks like it might climb clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. What a wonderful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Now the cattle are standing like statues. The cattle are standing like statues. Don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. But one little brown maverick is winking her eye and said, oh, what a beautiful morning. What a wonderful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. My way. Mertens. Earth are like music. The sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is as busy, it don't miss a tree. But one little weeping willow was laughing at me and said, oh, what a beautiful morning. What a wonderful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Ooh, everything's going my way. Yeah, everything's going my way. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. For our first encore, we'd like to play I'd like to extend a personal birthday greetings to my sister Susan, who's out here somewhere. Yeah. All right, happy birthday, Sue. I know that's why you're all here, so she'll thank you all personally later. No, thanks to all of you for coming. This is something that I try to do a show about once a season here, and it's always fun to put something together, and particularly fun tonight to have these fine gentlemen with me this evening. I'd like to just take a second and tell you who they are so you know, you keep track on your scorecards at home in your seats. That's Jim Cox over there on the bass. Our friend Justin Kramer on the drums. Don Stiernberg on all things string. And our good friend Paul von Mertens on saxophones, flute, clarinet, you name it. We're going to be doing songs, some songs of mine, some songs, favorite songs of mine, songs I've written, and some other favorite songs of mine. If you know about the music that I typically do, you'd probably know that a couple of my big influences are Mose Allison and Nat Cole. So we're going to dive into their songbooks a little bit this evening. And this next one was by a blues man named Jimmy Rogers, but I heard a version of it by Mose Allison. So we're going to do that for you now. It's called That's All Right. 1, 2, 3. You told me, baby, once upon a time, if I would be yours, you would be mine, but that's all right. I know you don't love me no more, but that's all right. Seem like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. You told me, baby, our love was strong. Woke up one morning, all your fine words are gone, but that's all right. I know you got yourself another boy, but that's all right. It seems like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Go ahead, Paul. loving you, you just didn't understand. And now you're trying to fool another man, but that's all right. I know you're talking about me, but that's all right. But it seems like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Yeah, it seems like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Yeah, it seems like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Thank you. This is a Nat Cole tune. This is something that I learned from a Nat Cole record from his early stuff from the 1940s, Nat Cole trio stuff. And I've always loved this tune. I've done it for many, many years. I haven't done it here. I don't know if I've ever done it here, but I sure do like it. And it's kind of a World War II song, and I just can't get enough of it. It's called Just Can't See for Looking. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I lost my touch. Guess I don't know what's cooking. So I just can't see for looking. Other boys have their chicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Don't seem to get a booking. Just can't see for looking. Kinda crazy, like a daisy, up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Won't some sister take a chance with me? I've been around the town. Everyone brings me down. I give up hope, just a dope. There ain't no gals for hooking. I just can't see for looking. Kinda crazy, like a daisy up that well-known tree. For me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Won't some sister take a chance with me? I've been around the town. Everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no gals for hooking. I just can't see for looking. No, no, just can't see for looking. Isn't that a sweet one? I just love that tune. I love tunes like that that evoke an era without anything really specific. There's nothing really, it doesn't mention anything topical. It's just something about that just feels like a very specific era to me. There's another one coming up later that has a similar feel for me. We're going to do a tune that I wrote. Yes, Bea? Oh. Just showing up late. You missed all my best songs. So we're going to do it, like I said earlier, a handful of tunes that I wrote this evening. This one is, some of my tunes are based on memories, and this one is, I wrote after our oldest son, Robert, who's now a big grown-ass man, back when he was a youngster and learning how to ride a bike. And so Bea and I took turns teaching him how to ride a bike. And of course, you know, you probably have had experiences like this where you teach your kid something, and as soon as you teach your kid something, you're thrown back to the point where the roles were reversed and you were the child learning it. And so this is about learning how to ride a bike and the flipping of the generations. Robert, by the way, often, this is kind of a backhanded way to give a big shout out to our friend Justin Kramer, who is an excellent drummer, and we're so thrilled to have him here this evening. Robert is our older son, and he is a drummer, and he would be the first to tell you that he's not really a jazz drummer, but he is a very capable drummer, and he often comes and plays here with us, and he is actually on tour as we speak, probably playing a gig in California. So he's playing with his own band, damn him, band called Space Bones. Band they refer to as folk punk. Yeah, and there's so many bands in that category. Anyway, they're tearing up the West Coast right now, and but we're thrilled that Justin is here to play with us. And this one is called "Running by My Side." The change is jingling in your pockets. The wind was blowing in my face. We couldn't stop if we wanted to stop it. You're wobbling all over the place. You're flying down the road, you're pounding the ground. The world is a blur, but I'm laughing out loud. My heart's in a knot, but I think I'm all right, 'cause your hand's on my hand, and you're running by my side. Sometimes time stands still. You don't know what to say, 'cause you're having a dream in the middle of the day. I'm flying. I'm flying. how did you know that point in the ride just when to let go so I'd still be alright? 33 years makes a boy a man. There's still plenty of things left to understand, but somehow I know way deep inside, wherever I go, wherever I ride, your hand's by my hand, and I'll be alright, 'cause you're running by my side. Thanks. Thank you. How about it for Don Stiernberg on the mandolin over there? So bashful, that Don. Internationally known mandolin player Don Stiernberg. We're always happy to have him with us. And what? Yeah, I was just about to say that. Don Stiernberg is doing his own show here in December. So you're going to want to keep track of our calendar and sign up for the mailing list or whatever, and we'll keep you informed as to when Don's coming up. But it is sometime in December he's coming in, so with his own group. So come hear Don do his own stuff. And that's Paul von Mertens on all those reed instruments over there. Bragging on the guys. Paul, by the way, is, and this is no joke, he is the musical director for Brian Wilson. You know Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys? Yes, very seriously. So, been so happy to have Paul as a pal for so many years, and we're glad to have him when he's in town. So, thanks for coming, Paul. Speaking of shout-outs, I know that I'm related to probably half the people in the audience. I've got a lot of family are here, and I'm so thrilled. A whole bunch of people made the drive down from Wisconsin, and so thank you so much, those of you who did, including my beautiful Aunt Maggie. Where's Aunt Maggie? Where is she? Right there. There she is. So I've got a story to tell about Aunt Maggie. So when I was just a youngster, I had several musical heroes, and one of my musical heroes was Aunt Maggie's husband, my Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim was my dad's brother, and he was a Dixieland clarinetist. And when I was way too young to have really legitimately played in any of his ensembles, he used to bring me along to his gigs and let me sit in. And boy, that made such a huge impression on me. And to this day, I still have these really vivid memories of Uncle Jim bringing me along to his dates and letting me hear his band and then sit on a tune or two. So I'm always so happy to have somebody from his family here, and I know a bunch of his other folks from his family. I didn't even see who all is here, but I knew that Maggie was coming. So thanks to Aunt Maggie for coming. And I thought, since we have the great Paul von Mertens here, we'd have him stick on the clarinet for a second and do a tune that has Jim's name in it. It's the St. James Infirmary. And perhaps Uncle Jim did this. Actually, I don't know, but it's an old enough tune that it probably was around. It certainly was around. I'll tell you a story about it afterwards. But it's a very dark tune. We'll talk about it later, but this is the St. James Infirmary. Well, I went down to St. James Infirmary. Saw my baby there, stretched out on a long white table. so sweet, so cold, so bare. Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can look this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another sweet man like me. Go ahead, Paul. Die. I want you to dress me in straight lace shoes. Yeah, Paul. A box back coat and a Stetson hat with a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know I died standing pat. Well, let her go, let her go, let her go. God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can look this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another sweet man like me. Yeah, she can look this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another sweet man like me. Oh, Paul von Mertens. So that song has always been so creepy to me, and it is so dark, and nothing is really obvious there, which is one of the reasons I really like it. You can't. She died. He saw her. We don't know if he caused it. We kind of think that maybe he did. He's kind of concerned about how he looks in the whole situation. But we don't really know. I don't know. So I actually did a little research on that song. It turns out it was based on an 18th century Irish ballad, which means that's going to be really cheery. But in that version is about a soldier that spends his money on prostitutes and dies of venereal disease. How that morphed into this, I don't know. But that's the etymology of that one. I have been always a fan. In fact, Paul and I were just talking about this at the rehearsal earlier this week. A fan of the writings of Raymond Chandler. Anybody else hip to Raymond Chandler? For those of you who may not know, Raymond Chandler was like a film noir. Well, actually, he was a screenwriter, but before that, he wrote novels in he wrote kind of a gritty private detective novels with his protagonist was a guy named Philip Marlowe, and he wrote The Big Sleep, and Paul, what are some of the other titles? I can't remember.
Lady in the Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Man in the High Window.
Yeah. Lady in the Lake, Man in the High Window. And a lot of them became films, and he ended up writing the screenplays for him. Humphrey Bogart played Philip Marlowe in a number of the films.
Long Goodbye.
Long Goodbye, yes, right. And the truth is, they're so, the language is so great in these books that after a while you start reading them, you sort of lose track of it. Sometimes the plots get a little convoluted. You sort of don't care because the language is so cool and so of the era. And there are a couple quotes I always pull out when I do this next tune because they're to give you an idea of Chandler quotes. One of them was, "She smelled the way the Taj Mahal looked by moonlight." How great is that? And the other one that I love is, "I'm an occasional drinker, the kind of guy that goes out for a beer and wakes up in Singapore with a full beard." So I thought, wouldn't it be cool to take a bunch of just kind of phrases. I did some research on like slang from that era, and then I stole a couple lines from Raymond Chandler books, and I put together this story, totally true story, about the time in 1949 when I was hanging out with Benny Goodman. And it's called "Oh Benny." Now, so that's what we're going to do next. And but as a little additional bit of information on that, there is a series on Turner Classic Movies, which is one of my other addictions. That is called Noir Alley, where they show old film noir. It airs late on Saturday nights and early Sunday mornings. So. And the guy who hosts it is a really interesting guy. He does a lot of research on film noir, and again, it just kind of feeds this obsession I have with all this. And the film that was on last Sunday was a film called Johnny Eager, and it was kind of a cool film about a mobster that is on parole and tries to come clean, or tries to give the impression of coming clean, but he's really running a dog racing track. It's a cool story, but the title, the main character is Johnny Eager, and he's talking about in the introduction to the film, the show host is talking about the name Johnny Eager, and he said, "Why is it that he was called Johnny Eager?" And so then he proceeds to list about 10 films or shows that are Johnny something. Like Johnny Danger, Johnny Dollar. He just kind of rattles a whole bunch and goes, he said, the truth is, you put Johnny in front of almost anything and it makes a good character. And he started pointing around, he goes, Johnny Camera, Johnny Leather Chair, Johnny Cocktail. And it was totally right. So I thought since we're going all noir, we'd rename all the guys in the band. So back there on the drums, holding on the beat, we've got Johnny Floor Tom. That's right. On bass, we've got Johnny Pizzicato for you. Please say hi to Johnny Chunk Chunk on the guitar over there. Johnny Rosewood on the clarinet, although he goes by his nickname Licorice Stick. And I'm Johnny Piano Teeth, or what was it? Johnny Elephant Teeth, that's what he was. But this is, the Quid Pro Quartet would like to now play for you, "Oh Benny." So me and Benny Goodman were hanging out at Condon's, swapping a few sides and knocking a few back. I brought some Prez. He had the latest Clifford. Benny always packed the wildest wax. So we're hanging loose and talking looser, like who's cubistic and who's a cat. And Benny starts doing next week's drinking. And I say, "Pops, don't go lose your hat." He said, "Steve, man, I know my groceries. And when I have a thought, I brain it around. And the way I see it, this gig is over. The big bands are going down. Oh, Benny, don't be a fool. No need to upset yourself, 'cause you're the king of swing." And that's cool. You're groovy as a movie, so put your worries on the shelf. You still rule the school. But Benny says, these little hepcats with their oobop and their zoot suits and goatees and glasses and French berets. And me, I'm just trying to blow my rosewood. Looks like the Ray has had his day. So Benny's fussing and he's spitting and he's fuming. And meanwhile, there's a ruckus out on the street. 'Cause up pulls a rag top and out pops chicken dinner. And the skirt yells, "Where's that lying cheat?" And I say, "Benny, you happen to know that muffin?" He said, "Oh, Pop, that blonde from the Belvedere. She'd make a bishop kick a stained glass window. But I stiffed her for lunch, and cab fare here, uh-oh." Well, the door flies open, and in walks trouble. She's dressed in red, with her gauge up max. She throws a chair, locks her lamps on Benny, and Benny jumps right out the back. "Oh, Benny, did you really leave? I know you must protect yourself, 'cause you're the king of swing, and I'm Steve. But man, you left me hanging. This chick's about to blow a fuse from here to Santa Cruz. She's on fire, and she's hot as a rocket. She shoots me a look I can feel in my pocket. Don't know my elbow from my shoe. She could thrill me or kill me. Benny, what am I supposed to do? So that was the last time I laid my eyes on Benny. The king of swing changed my life. He was the master, and I owe him plenty. Anyway, that's the story of how I met my wife. Ow, Benny. A little bit ago I said there was another tune coming up that had a feel of a particular era, and this one absolutely does that for me. It mentions nothing topical, and there's nobody in it that you would go, oh, that's from that era. But this is from the 1930s. It always kind of reminds me, my romanticized version in my mind of my parents' courtship. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do kind of know why, but I'll do the song for you and then talk about it. But it's just another sweet tune, and you'll see what I mean. Gee, it's great after being out late, walking my baby back home. Arm in arm over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go along harmonizing a song, or I'm reciting a poem. Owls go by and they give me the eye, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, she gives me a smile and cuddles her head to my chest. We startin' to pet, and that's when I get her powder all over my vest. After I kinda straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. One kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. Stop for a while, she gives me a smile and cuddles her head to my chest. You're starting to pet, and that's when I get her powder all over my vest. After I kinda straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. One kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby. Walking my baby, walking my baby back home. Thank you. Yeah, the reason I like that tune is that is the whole. He's wearing a vest. She's got powder. They get all messed up. It's so like beautifully innocent and totally sexy at the same time. Oh, here's one. Any Catholics here? You don't have to admit it. I'm doing this one.
They're not admitting it.
I'm doing this one because I think, and I'm gonna have to talk to Sue and Dick about this during the break. I think that they came home with this record, and you may recognize it. This is from 1965, and I think they came home with this record and played it in our living room. This is my memory. You'll have to tell me if this memory is accurate, you guys. But and it was completely shocking to my family, to everyone that we knew, but we loved it. I imagine you know what I'm going to do, right? First you get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Do whatever steps you want if you have cleared it with a pontiff. Everybody says on Kyrie eleison, doing a Vatican rag. Get in line in that processional, step into that small confessional. There the guy who's got religion'll tell you if your sin's original. If it is, try playing it safer. Drink the wine and chew the wafer. 2, 4, 6, 8, time to transubstantiate. So get down upon your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Make a cross on your abdomen. When in Rome, do like a Roman. Ave Maria, gee, it's good to see you. Getting ecstatic and kind of dramatic and doing the Vatican rag. Yeah. I'd say that is not sacrilegious, it is sacrilegious. Tom Lehrer wrote that, and I actually did a little research on him while I was preparing for this. I've known that tune for a long time, and I once in a while I'll pull it out, and I just thought I should know a little bit more about him. He was this total polymath. He was in the 1950s. He went to Harvard at the age of 16, graduated magna cum laude at 18, became a math professor at Harvard, MIT, and UC Santa Cruz, I think. But all the while was very interested in musical theater, wrote these parody tunes or political satire, and at one point was teaching a musical comedy or teaching a math class for liberal arts students, and he called it Math for Tenors. And there was some other interesting fact about him. What the heck was it? But he was a totally fascinating guy. Still alive, actually. He's in his 90s. But learning this one tune or pulling this tune back up made me realize I should probably know a couple of his other tunes. Oh, I know. When he bought some studio time and recorded some of these songs because he was doing these songs at parties and people wanted to have copies. So he made them copies himself. And of course, they were so kind of left to center that no radio stations would touch him. So his comment was, because I had no media exposure, my music spread slowly, more like herpes than Ebola. Oh my God. Okay, this is another, this is actually, Don, do you know who wrote this? This is an old, was this a Willie Dixon tune? I think it might be. Great Chicago, and Willie Dixon wrote this again. I learned it, this is one I learned from the Mose Allison record, but it's always been one of my favorite blues tunes to do. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Everybody talking about the seventh son. In the whole round world, there's only one, and I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one they call the seventh son. Well, I can tell your future, it will come to pass. I can do things for you, make your heart feel glad. Look in the sky, predict the rain. I can tell when a woman's got another man. I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one they call the seventh son. Go ahead, Don. will sound so sweet. They will even make a little heart skip a beat. I can heal the sick, raise the dead, and make a little girl talk out of their head. I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one, the one they call the seventh son. Yeah, I'm the one, the one they call the seventh son. Okay, we got one more tune for this set. And, I forgot to... I decided I'd be a whistleblower tonight. Since this is a Quid Pro Quartet. We can all take turns blowing the whistle if you like. That's fine with me. And what's your important announcement? I know, and I was going to mention all that. Okay. I got your back. I understand that Jasmine, our lovely bartender back there, has got some particular cocktail just for the evening. It's got mint in it and peach. It's called a peach mint cocktail, I believe. And I understand it tastes horrible, but I think that's sort of the point. So, is it good? Okay, well, so help yourself if you'd like. We got this one more tune. Bar will be open after this tune, mercifully, because the more you drink, the better we sound, of course. And, the important announcements. Yes, so we got a couple thank yous that we always give. Usually for our music performances, I get up before the show and do my little meet and greet, and Bea was so nice to do that for me this evening, since I was the star of the show. But she obviously forgot some of her jobs, so I'm cleaning up for her. That's okay. I won't dock her pay a little bit, but not much. But no, there are a couple of thank yous, several thank yous that we always give on our nights that we do our shows. One of them are these gorgeous rugs. Every week, isn't this a gorgeous rug? I learned today, by the way, I'm not going to read it because I remember it. It's in my head. There's a wonderful rug company here in Evanston, the Manassian Rug Company on Dempster in Chicago, and they are big supporters of what we do. And Carney Manassian, who's one of the brothers who owns Manassian Rugs, sends over a different rug every week for us to perform on. And I'm not kidding you. So we always thank them. And if you're ever in the market for a rug, and this is not a joke, if you're ever in the market for a rug, please go there and mention Studio5, and you'll get a discount. It's happened to two of our patrons. Carney is a wonderful guy. In fact, he thanked me today for the plugs that he said, people have been coming in and talking about you guys. So anyway, thank you if you've been going over there. But it's like a gallery. But he told me today that this carpet is 150 years old. It's from Northwest Persia, and every week, it's a different rug every week. So some stunning rugs. So we always give the Manassian Rug Company a shout out. Yeah. Be careful over there, Stiernberg. Secondly, the gorgeous portraits that we have over the bar. Aren't those incredible? They're by a local artist friend of ours, Chris Froder. And so we thank him for letting us display his work here. And if you'd like to know more about his work, there's a little placard on the side there next to the left one, and you're welcome. And some business cards, I believe. So. Yeah, his wife Julie's here, so please pick up some information about Chris if you'd like to know more about that. And thirdly, and finally, and then we'll get on with the actual show. This gorgeous piano is thanks to the kind generosity of our friends Dan and Christy Robinson, and it is a 1928 Steinway. And doesn't it sound great? So anyway, so we thank them for that. We couldn't be doing this without it. I think that's it. Anything else, Ben? That's plenty. It's way more than enough. Okay, one last tune before the break. This is another tune that I wrote. This is this is drawn really from memory. Everything in this tune actually happened, or is a memory that I actually remember, is a feeling I actually remember having at the time. It's kind of an amalgam of several different events, but it is honestly a true story. Anybody here have ever been to Ripon, Wisconsin? Yeah, yeah, all the people that I'm related to. Anyway. That's my hometown, and that's where this all took place. I just thought I would say that for the record, so you can picture that if you've been to lovely Ripon. So we'll see you on the other side. Uncle Irv said, "Bobby, come have a seat." And I said, "Uncle Irv, Bob is not my name. But I love my big brother, so it's all the same." And Aunt Grace said, "I hope it doesn't rain." Dad's flipping burgers at the Kiwanis tent. The burlap bags, the hot steamed corn, waiting on the ground. Guys played sheep's head over by the butcher shop. They all look up when they hear that sound. Can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, the baby's crying. Children jump for joy, run alongside it. First come the Cub Scouts walking tall, then the vets from WWI. Then the sound starts bouncing off the five and dime, and here they come in perfect time. But can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, and the baby's crying. Children jump for joy, run alongside it. Cigars smoke in the air, flags waving everywhere. This is the greatest country in the world. Don't you wish that you were there? Don't you wish that you were there? Oh, can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, and the babies cry. Children jump for joy, run alongside it. Yeah. While you're making your way back to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know that I do have quite a number of family and friends in from Wisconsin. And in honor of them and out of great respect, I'd like to do a song. I did grow up in Wisconsin, and this is a song that's in my native language. And you may be sitting near somebody from Wisconsin, so if you don't understand, you can just turn to them and perhaps they can translate. It's a song I wrote over 30 years ago. It became a minor hit here in Chicago. And ya hey, oh for cry I hey, ya hey for cry I know. Criminy Pete, oh for god darn sakes. Shoot, about drop trowel. Okay, now everybody. Ya hey, oh, you know it. Some of you know it already. Holy cry, Don.
Yeah.
They know her.
That's good.
All right, let's do her. Okay, ready? Okay, hold on. We gotta wait for it to come around again now. Okay. A one, a two, a you know what to do. Ya hey, oh for cry I hey. Ya hey for cry I no. Yeah, good. Criminy Pete, oh for god darn sakes. Shoot, about drop trow. Yeah, let him hear you in Sheboygan. Okay. That was not on the list. For obvious reasons. Yeah, no extra charge for that one. All right, we're going to get started now with some actual music. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Buzz took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on a square. The monkey tried to throw the buzzard off his back, but the monkey settled back and said, now listen, Jack, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use in jiving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Well, the buzz told the monkey, you choking me. Release your hold, and I will set you free. The monkey looked the buzzer right dead in the eye. Said, your story's so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right. Hey, hey, hey. That, of course, was one of Nat Cole's biggest hits. That's all I got to say about that. Oh. So they had another channel on, apparently.
Mercy.
It was. Okay. This is a Mose Allison tune. This is actually one. I listened to so much Mose Allison music as a young stir. It's already been a long night, apparently. And I so many songs that were written by other people, I heard him do first, and so I assumed that he had written all of them, and of course, many of them he didn't. But this one, he actually did write, and has an interesting character in it, so we'd like to do that for you now. See you watching me just like a hawk. I don't mind the way you talk, but when you touch me, something's got to give. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. My diamond ring and my money too. Tomorrow night they could belong to you. The girls move me at their will. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. Well, I may lay 100 on a bet this time. Tomorrow night I can't cover your dime. Next week I could be over the hill. Just trying to tell you people how I feel. You see me rocking as I pass you by. Don't talk about me, 'cause I could be high. Just forgive me, if you will. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. This time. Tomorrow night I can't cover your dime. Next week I could be over the hill. Just trying to tell you people how I feel. You see me rocking as I pass you by. Don't talk about me, 'cause I could be high. Just forgive me, if you will. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. Here's a quick little tune that, another Nat Cole tune. He didn't write it. I don't know who wrote it.
Johnny Mercer.
2, 1, 2, 3. You're just too marvelous for words, like glorious, glamorous, that old standby amorous. You're just too wonderful. I never find the words that tell enough, spell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too very, very, to ever be in Webster's dictionary. So I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. You're much too very, very, to ever be in Webster's dictionary. So I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. To tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. Somebody put $5 on the piano during the break. It was only 5, so we're only going to play the introduction to the tune. No, this is a tune that I wrote. I mentioned my older son in the first set. This is a tune that I wrote actually with my younger son when he was about 3. Our younger son, Daniel, who is also now a grown-ass man, when he was just a youngster, he used to refer to things in the past tense as a long, long day ago. And it didn't matter if it was 5 minutes ago or 3 years ago. It was as long, if it had already occurred, it was a long, long day ago. And I kind of like that perspective on time, and he would often say things that sort of caught my ear. So I started writing down the things that he would say and strung them together and added a few words of my own, and came up with this song called "A Long, Long Day Ago." walk upon your road. A long, long day ago. I will know just where to go. A long, long day ago. And always you will find me. A long, long day ago. We will lie beneath the shade. A long, long day ago. We will see what we have made. A long, long day ago. And always I will love you. A long, long day ago. For even green connects the blue, even blue connects the red. Every hue connects to you. With a tree beneath my eye, a long, long day ago. And you fill your mouth with sky. A long, long day ago. Even we are smiling. Even we are smiling. Even I am curled upon your palm.
Thank you.
Daniel, I should mention, besides being a lyricist at 3, is now a filmmaker in Los Angeles, and he just one of the great joys in my life is being able to work on stuff with my kids, and he just did a really nice little short film. He's had films in festivals before, and he just released is about to release a new short film that I scored. So that will be out the Monday of Thanksgiving week. So if you're on our newsletter list, I will send you a link to be able to watch it. What do we got here? Oh, this is a fun one. This one, both Mose Allison and Nat Cole did. So there. Baby, we two can't get along, 'cause I'm never right and you're never wrong. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. Baby, it just ain't common sense, mixing up love and arguments. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. I'm all fed up on stormy weather, going where it's June. Here's hoping that I see you never. 'Cause if I do, it will be too soon. I'm all fed up on your advice. Missing you will be paradise. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. Don. Better bring along your glasses in case I'm hard to find. You'll wish you could see before you as well as you can see behind. I'm all fed up on your advice. Missing you will be paradise. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there. I will be there. I will be there at no particular time. In the words of Don Stiernberg, this next song is very hard. So we'd appreciate it if we could get our applause now. Thank you. Thank you. Don, we haven't heard much from you this evening. How you doing?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Steve.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. Doing just fine. I like your songs, like your original songs.
Thanks, Don. I know I could count on you. I know you've done these before.
This next one that you made up,
Mm-hmm.
the West Coast Lament, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I was there.
You were right. That's right. You
When
were
you-
there. In fact,
when
you're
you
one
made
of
this one up.
3 people, you and I included, who were there. I mean, that are in this room now.
Did I put the E minor augmented 7 in there for you?
No, that was
No?
Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Who's responsible for that
The
chord.
B flat demolished. Did I put that?
That
in
was
there?
yours. That one was yours.
I knew I had something in there.
Yeah, I know that was your contribution. This is started out as a true story and became total fiction. Don and I and Sam. By the way, doesn't it sound great in here? That's thanks to Sam
Yeah.
Fishkin up there. Don and Sam and I and several other pals went to California for a wedding of a friend of ours, and I was with another buddy of ours, Kevin, and we rented a car and drove up the coast, and the wedding was in Ojai. And this many years ago, we were all young dads, and we just were having a delightful time, kind of guys' weekend. So, and that's how this one started. And it was up on the West Coast, and I've always been a fan of West Coast jazz. So I thought, oh, it'd be fun. I'll kind of write a tune. It became a bit of a travelogue, and then, but I put it in the style of West Coast jazz, kind of like Jerry Mulligan, Chet Baker kind of stuff. So that's all you need to know. That's all you're going to know. And if you can figure this tune out, you can tell me later what it's about. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember driving up the coast in a rented MG. We yelled at the mountains with the top down, waving goodbye. The ocean breezes made us feel high, reminiscing about those Cold War days when we were spies and we kept the country safe from the Ruskies and the big one. It was a simpler time. It was take, it was give. You knew who they were. You knew where they lived. We had our bunkers and they had theirs. We all had nukes, but we had spares. Good fences make good neighbors. I always say, no one could touch us, no one could touch us, not like today. Later on, the wedding was swinging up in Ojai. Hummingbirds outside the hotel, cloudless skies. The band was cooking, the cooks were swinging. Synchronicity. The young couple was madly in love. The angels were singing. It was a simpler time. It was take, it was give. I knew who you were. You knew where I lived. I had my bunker. You had yours too. We were both out of ammo by the time we were through. Good fences make good neighbors. I always say, no one could touch me, no one could touch me, not like today. But something's magic about California. You never hear a negative sound. Brings out the best in all mankind. Land where the redheads abound. Sun upended our grand affair. Nothing quite so sublime. Retired G-men just making their flight. Man, what a time. Okay, this one. This is a tune that is. I'm gonna fill a little bit while Don grabs his mandolin. How about Don Stiernberg on that mandolin? Donnie Chunk Chunk, Johnny Chunk Chunk. It's okay, Don, we got plenty of time. Take your time.
Steve, you know what Cannonball Adderley would say, right, about this one?
No, what?
He'd say, sometimes we're not prepared for adversity.
That's right, that's right. That's right.
You tell the rest.
That's right. Okay, now talking to me. This is another tune actually written by Mose Allison. It's one of his well-known tunes, although a lot of people, not many people do it. I know Bonnie Raitt did a version of it. Not many, I haven't heard many recordings of it, but.
Maybe Van Morrison.
Oh, Van Morrison did too, yes. Anyway, it's about as political as Mose Allison ever got, but it's a really great tune. Written in 1965 or 6, I think, and it's still as relevant today as it ever was. I can't believe the things I'm seeing. wondering about some things I've heard. Everybody crying mercy, but they don't know the meaning of the word. Bad enough situation, sure enough getting worse. Everybody crying justice, just as long as there's business first. Toe to toe, touch and go, give a cheer, get your souvenir. People running round in circles, don't know what they're headed for. Everybody crying, peace on earth, just as soon as we win this war. Straight ahead, knock 'em dead. Pack your kit, choose your hypocrite. You don't have to go to off-Broadway to see something plain absurd. Everybody crying mercy, when they don't know the meaning of the word, and nobody knows the meaning of the word. Yeah, how about that? Yep, it's the truth. Which brings me to my little political statement for the evening. Oh, I don't know if it's a political statement, but it's obviously a bit of a crazy time right now, and well, I'm not going to really go there, but I will say that we are sometimes reminded of a simpler time, and maybe a perhaps a little more naive, or a time when things that seemed outrageous by today's standards maybe weren't. And I'm talking about specifically years ago, I took some quotes from George W. Bush, and I put them into a song. These are actual words that George Bush spoke, and the music is mine, but the inspiring words are all his, and I kid you not. It's a trip down memory lane for us all. I know the human being and the fish can coexist peacefully. Will the highways on the internet become more few? I know how hard it is to put food on your family. Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? Our nation must come together to unite. Our priorities is our faith. Families is where our nation finds hope. Where wings take dream. More and more of our imports come from overseas. We ought to make the pie higher. You teach a child to read and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. Nothing can be further than the truth. Our nation must come together to unite. Our priorities is our faith. Families is where our nation finds hope. Where wings take dream. I was raised in the west of Texas. It's pretty close to California in more ways than Washington, D.C. is close to California. When I was growing up, it was a dangerous world, and you knew exactly who they were. It was us versus them, and it was clear who them was. Today, we are not so sure who they are, but we know they're there, and there's no bigger task than protecting the homeland of our country with a clear statement of purpose: you disarm, or we will. And so, in my State of the Union, or State of the Speech to the whatever you want to call it, my Speech to the Nation, State of the Budget Address, whatever you call it, I made a point that that's a chapter, the last half of the 21st century, that most of us would rather forget. The last chapter of the 20th century. This is the first chapter of the 21st century, and I think we can agree the past is over. Our nation must come together to unite. Let's put those hands in the air. Our priorities is our faith, everybody. Families is where our nation finds hope. Where wings take dream. They misunderestimated me.
Okay. Oh, man. Good Lord Almighty. That sounds pretty eloquent. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, we got time for one more number this evening. Oh, I know. Stop me before I. Okay, so this is. Let me once more introduce these fellows. That's the great Jim Cox, bass player to the stars. There, Marion McPartland, Rosemary Clooney, you name it. Jim has played with them. We're always glad to have Jim on board with us, and that's Justin Kramer back there on the drums. Johnny Floortom over there. That's the wonderful Don Stiernberg there on the guitar, mandolins, and Paul von Mertens on saxophone, clarinet, alto, flute. Happy birthday, Sue. Thanks to all my Wisconsin family and friends for coming out. We'd like to send you off with this one last one. which implores you to please stay, even though we know you must leave. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Now, baby, please don't go down to New Orleans because I love you so. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Now turn your lamp down low because I love you so. Now, baby, please don't go. Don. They got me way down here. They got me way down here. They got me way down here by the rolling fog. Treat me like a dog. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. You know I love you so. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Thank you.
Steve Rashid, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Rashid and his Quid Pro Quartet.
Quid Pro Quartet, that's Jim Cox, Justin Kramer, Paul Von Mertens, Don Stiernberg. Thank you all very much. Thanks for sticking around to the last drop. Please come visit us again. I'm going to ask you to indulge me and please sing happy birthday to my sister. Fellas, I think you might know it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you. Thanks very much. Okay. Let's go to, what's next? Oh, let's do Your Sweetheart.
Yeah.
All right. We'll stay in the same key all night. We'll send you on your way with this one. This is a true story of love, true sentiment. And it truly is one of the oldest songs I know. One of the first ones I learned. 1, 2, 3, and. You're a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. Life without you was an incomplete dream. You're my only sweet dream come true. My search was such a blind one. My heart was all at sea. I never thought I'd find one so perfect for me. You're a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. Search was such a blind one. My heart was all at sea. I never thought I'd find one so perfect for me. You are a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. If there ever was one, it's you. Thanks very much. Thanks, you wonderful gentlemen. See you on the flip side.